What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, the stimulus package update, daily news that you need to know about, pretty much everything going on in our country, money, investing, the stock market. Also, I will have a bonus video for you guys tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 8 p.m. West Coast time. So don't miss that video tonight. If you're a subscriber with a bell icon on, you won't get a bell icon notification. Just remember that it will be at 8 p.m. West Coast, 11 p.m. East Coast time tonight. A bonus video for you guys tonight, so don't miss out on that video. Speaking of the stock market, stocks have been doing pretty decent since the Thursday vote in the Senate passed on the debt ceiling. You could see the kind of uptrend here on the S&P since Thursday as the debt ceiling fears have kind of passed, at least for the time being. Remember, they passed it in the Senate only with Mitch McConnell's help on the initial vote. We had 11 Republicans help pass that vote, and that kind of calmed the fears of the U.S. default. So stocks have been up since Thursday pretty decently. This is the S&P. Stocks were down just a little bit today, 30 points in the S&P today, but we've had a pretty nice uptrend in the S&P, the Dow Jones, and the stock markets since Thursday as, well, the fears of default are gone temporarily. But remember that they have to vote on it in the House, and that will be tomorrow. That's an important vote. It has passed the Senate, but has not passed the House. That vote will be tomorrow. The important vote was the Senate. That passed on Thursday night. There still has to vote in the House. The Democrats control the House. I will keep you up to date on that vote, which is expected to happen tomorrow. The other kind of problem with that is that Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer blasted the Republicans because only 11 Republicans said yes to this debt ceiling. The other problem is that if the Democrats can't pass the stimulus package before December, which is a month and a half from now, because we have Democrats fighting among themselves with Joe Manchin, Kirsten Sinema, and we have this prescription drug pricing issue. Well, Mitch McConnell and the Republicans are saying, well, we helped you once, but then now you basically slapped our hand and kind of tried to make a fool of us in public. Well, we're not going to help you again. And Democrats and Republicans are now at odds against each other. Here's what Democratic Representative John Yarmuth has to say.
In fact, let's stay on the Senate side for a minute. Your fellow Kentuckian, Mitch McConnell, wrote a letter to the president on Friday in which he says, your lieutenants, speaking to the president on Capitol Hill now, of the time they claimed they lacked to address the debt ceiling through standalone reconciliation and all the tools to do it. They cannot invent another crisis to ask for my help. He's talking about you there, I think, as one of the lieutenants here who could handle a debt ceiling lift through reconciliation. Is that the path we're now on here? And would it be as easy as one Republican aide suggested to me last week that it could be an amendment vote in the vote-a-rama? It could be as simple as that for Democrats to handle the debt ceiling in reconciliation if you so choose.
Well, first of all, I don't think you can trust anything that any Republican says because they can't control all 50 of their members. And it only takes one or two to object on the Senate side, as you know, Garrett, to foil any of the guarantees that they might make to us. One thing that I need to make, and I get furious thinking about Mitch McConnell, that he's my senator, is he's being so deceitful with the American people. Right now, he says, well, this is what they're asking us to do is pay for future debt. Right now, every minute, we are incurring more debt because of the Republican-passed tax cuts in 2017. CBO projected at the time that between 2022 and 2028, the Republican tax cuts would add $800 billion to the national debt. So that's their debt. That's not anything the Democrats had to do. We all voted against it. That's their debt, and now they don't want to pay for it.
Yeah, so John Yarmuth is chair of the House Budget Committee. He's the chairman, and he's ironically from Kentucky. And he says Senator Mitch McConnell is my senator because he's from Kentucky. And Mitch McConnell had some words to say about him. Pretty ironic there. Mitch McConnell said that Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer poisoned the well with his speech over the debt limit. And Mitch McConnell says that he will not, and the Senate Republicans will not help the Democrats raise the debt limits again this year. So the Democrats will have to raise it in early December or before then, in the next month or so, before in the reconciliation package, in the stimulus package, or else the government will default. So, yeah, and remember, the House has to vote on this tomorrow here. The Senate has passed it, but the House has to do their job here tomorrow. Meanwhile, former Republican President Donald Trump has tearing into Republican leader of the Senate, Mitch McConnell. It seems like both the Republican Party and the Democrat Party are divided at this point in time. Former President Donald Trump had this to say to Mitch McConnell. Trump says, to think we had 11 Republicans go along with a debt ceiling extension, which they had to do or else the country would default, headed up by Mitch McConnell. Can you believe that? Trump said about the debt ceiling deal. And you know what it does? It gives the Democrats more time, 2 more months, gives them more time to figure it out. They can now have 2 more months to figure it out and how to screw us, okay? Wow. So now that Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has blasted the Republicans, the Democrats really have to figure out how to pass this stimulus package as well, not only because it's going to help Americans in so many different ways. The monthly checks that are in there for the children, 65 million children, hopefully a fourth stimulus check in addition to the child tax credits, the monthly checks, but a fourth stimulus check hopefully for adults as well. Also, an adult tax credit, which is expected to be in there as well. Child tax credits. There's also expected to be an adult tax credit for adults making under $50,000. We really don't know the details on that, but it is expected to be in there, how it's going to work and everything like that. But we're also hoping for a fourth stimulus check as well. They could include that for as little as $100 billion or $200 billion. That might sound like a lot, but that would be less than 5% of the entire package. Remember, this package is expected to be between $2 and $3 trillion at this point. There's also expected to be Medicare 2.0, or an expansion of Medicare, which includes for seniors ages 60 to 65 and older. They want to lower the Medicare eligibility age to age 60, which would actually make over 20 million seniors 60 and older, or age 60 through 65, now eligible for Medicare. Over 20 million people fall into that age group, as well as a new Medicare benefits for about 75% of seniors do not have hearing, dental, denture benefits, hearing, dental, vision, and hearing aids would all be covered under Medicare now, and about 75% of seniors do not have these benefits. Hearing aids alone can cost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Another big thing that they're really arguing over or negotiating over right now this week and trying to finalize is the prescription drug pricing deal. This is a really big deal for a lot of Americans. I actually looked up the details here live with you guys on video, and they say about 66% of Americans, 2/3 of Americans, are on prescription drugs or take prescription drugs or pay for prescription drugs. So if you pay any money at all for prescription drugs, they're trying to significantly lower the prices of prescription drugs. And in all fairness, they've been trying to do this for a while. Former President Donald Trump tried to do this. The current administration trying to do this. Doesn't really matter who tried to do this and who gets the credit for it. You can give the credit to whoever. All that matters is that we get savings for you guys, the American people, our extended family, that we get savings. So whether you pay $10 a month, $50 a month, $100 a month, or $500 a month, or $1,000 a month. And believe me, I've seen your comments where literally some people say that one of your medication is $500 a month or $1,000 a month. And I've seen some people say that they can't even afford some of their medications. And my heart goes out to you. So hopefully that we can see, that is a big portion of this bill, prescription drug pricing, or lowering the prices of it. I'll bring this up here. It's actually number 18 on my list, but these are kind of in no really particular order. But even though it's number 18 on the list, this is an item that could, if you pay for prescription drugs every single month, imagine if you saved, I don't know, $25 a month, $50. I mean, if you save, let's just pick a number out of the air, $50 a month, that's $600 a year. That's the equivalent of getting a $600 stimulus check every single year. It's like getting the second stimulus check, which was $600. That's like getting it every single year in perpetuity, every single month, or I'm sorry, every single year. So it's like a mini stimulus, or in this case, a second stimulus check that can really add up. And this is in perpetuity. If you save $50 a month, that's every single month or every single year that adds up. That's like the internet assistance program that so many of our viewers got, literally thousands of people. If you want to sign up and you haven't yet, the website is getemergencybroadband.org. Getemergencybroadband.org. That's it's a government website from the third stimulus check package where you can, they literally give you $50 off your internet bill or your cell phone bill from the third stimulus check package. And so many of our viewers got it. Literally, you apply right on that website. They apply $50 off your home internet bill or your cell phone bill. And that's just another one of these items on here. They actually could extend that or put more money in the pot, so to speak. That, again, it's just kind of one of those mini stimulus items. But I mean, this is kind of added up now. I don't even know how long it's been going, but some people probably got, I don't know, what are we on, month 4 now? I mean, that's $200. Month 5 will be $250. Month 6 will be $300. That's just going to keep going until that pot runs out of money. And that's just item number 11 on here. I mean, we've had student loan forgiveness. There's going to be more of that here in the future. We've had 40 million people on student loan payment pause. For some of those people, some people are on student loans that are hundreds of dollars a month, $100 a month, $200 a month, $300 a month. I don't even know, but I mean, just not having to pay that, I mean, that's a significant savings. And there's no interest on it, so the interest is not accumulating. You don't have to pay it. So right now, it's just basically, it's a whole bill that you don't have to pay right now. And the 25% SNAP increase, that's a permanent increase, and that just kicked in October. My wife wants to make a special appearance. You got to come all the way around with a special guest. Keep coming. This is our special guest appearance. Lily, come around and say hi. She doesn't want to. Just come in and peek and say hi. My wife's doing laundry.
Here's my load that I have to do.
There's our cat Lily. This is just another day at the Jimmy household. My other cat Leo's in the background. I don't know. And this is Leo. Say hi. If you've ever seen the movie Meet the Parents, he looks like Jinxie Cat from Meet the Parents. Say hi, Leo. Jinxie Cat, where are you? Yeah, we're going to have to paint your tail black. Say bye-bye, Leo. 10 seconds of Leo. Say bye-bye. Leo is 15 years old. Yeah, say bye-bye. Yeah, he doesn't come around as much because he's an old guy. We call him Creaky as a nickname. So yeah, 10 seconds of Leo and Lily. A refreshing break from stimulus, but yeah, there's a lot of different things that they're looking to put in this package. Medicare benefits, monthly checks for children. Remember, those go away at the end of this year. And I mean, they say that takes over 50% of children out of poverty. And we just go back to the list. This list is actually helpful for me because it helps me remember all the different things that they're thinking about or discussing or potentially putting in this package. Paid family and medical leave. We don't even really talk about that one that much, but that's a big part of this in here. Climate change is in here. We don't even talk about that one very much because it doesn't really put money in people's pockets or anything like that. These are really the stimulus items or stimulus provisions being discussed. There's other things in this package like climate change and stuff like that. These are only really the stimulus provisions. that are being discussed. Of course, there's a whole other package, the physical infrastructure package as well. This is really just the stimulus provisions. There's all sorts of other things in there like climate change and stuff like that. This is just the items called stimulus, or that we consider kind of stimulus items that are being discussed or being considered for the package. So the items in green have recently already been passed. Ooh, I do not want to drag that over. It's been an interesting episode so far. But yeah, and honestly, student loan payment pause could be, I mean, that's really helping out a lot of people. If you have student loans, those have probably been a godsend for you, not having to pay that bill. I honestly think there's going to be a lot more student loans forgiven, but I think it would probably be, I mean, you probably don't want to hear this. Not that this is bad or anything, but I think he's going to forgive a lot of them, or I think there's going to be a lot more forgiven after they pass this package. I just think it's the smart thing to do because people like Senator Joe Manchin and stuff like that, I mean, if they forgive many, many billions of dollars before the package, I just think that people like Joe Manchin who are like trying to be prudent and not spend a lot of money and stuff like, not that they're not spending a lot, which they are. I mean, we're talking about $2 to $3 trillion. But I mean, if he forgives something like $1 trillion in student loans or something like that, Joe Manchin's he's just gonna lose his appetite, right? He's not gonna want to, huh? He's gonna blow a gasket. My wife says he's not gonna want to spend $2 or $3 trillion on the package if the president forgives $1 trillion in student loans. And I'm all for, I don't have student loans. My wife's college degree is, I don't know if you can see it. It's up there. My wife has a college degree from John Carroll University for a business degree. And we've already paid off our student loans. But so student loan forgiveness wouldn't help us or anything. But I still want to see it for everybody because I'm pro-stimulus. I want to see as many Americans get as many help, whether it's child tax credits or Medicare benefits or student loan forgiveness or debt forgiveness, medical debt forgiveness, credit card debt, whatever it is. I mean, Medicare benefits, like they don't help me, but I want to see it. I want to see student loan forgiveness, even though like they wouldn't help us, because I just really feel like we're during a pandemic, and I really feel like there's lots and lots of people out there that really need help right now. I see your guys' comments every day, and I know that a lot of people are struggling. And really, this channel has kind of really opened my eyes to a lot of, how many people are out there struggling nowadays. And probably before this channel, I probably didn't even realize how many people are out there struggling in the world. And I kind of really feel like a lot of the politicians having a channel like this, or that's why I kind of really feel like people like Bernie Sanders get it, because he does a lot of tours. He goes out and speaks to a lot of people. He kind of gets it. But I almost feel like a lot of the politicians, as we discussed in one of the recent videos, they're worth many, many millions. Some of them are worth 50 million, $100 million. They don't see comments like you guys. They don't get it, right? They don't understand. I almost feel like they're out of touch with the average everyday person. So like they don't really understand the needs of the average everyday people, right? So it's like I've kind of realized this over doing these videos with you guys now for I don't know, like 2 years now with you guys. I don't know, a year and a half, all the way since the first stimulus checks, first stimulus check, second stimulus check, third stimulus check. I honestly think that Congress has done a pretty good job. When you think about before this pandemic, they weren't sending out stimulus checks at all. Now they send out stimulus check 1, stimulus check 2, stimulus check 3. They're sending out monthly checks for children. I consider them stimulus checks because they were from the third stimulus check package. They are a stimulus provision. Some people don't call them stimulus checks. We're splitting hairs here. But they are monthly checks. So whether you call them monthly stimulus checks or monthly checks, you're splitting hairs here. But regardless, is they're sending out monthly checks, and they've significantly increased those checks because remember, those child tax credits used to be only $2,000. And former President Donald Trump, he actually increased those from $1,000. And now in the third stimulus check package, those monthly checks, they've increased them from $2,000 to $3,000 for the total for the year for children ages 6 through 17. And for children under the age of 6, the total is $3,600. So the monthly equivalent of them is for children over 6, $3,000, and for children under 6, $3,600. So, yeah, I mean, it's a big increase. It's a 50% increase or an 80% increase, depending on how you're looking at it. And I also think that, 3 stimulus checks where before the pandemic, there was no stimulus checks at all. I mean, we had a stimulus check like way long ago, 10 years ago, one time. And that was, what did we have, a $600 or $300 stimulus check way many years ago. So I think they've done a decent job with the whole pandemic, but I definitely think they can do a lot more. We're going to have this next package with Medicare benefits. I think that there's a lot of really good things in this next package with the Medicare benefits because, one, those are benefits that are going to go on forever in perpetuity: hearing, vision, dental, hearing aids, lower the Medicare eligibility age to age 60. I also think other programs like the child tax credits that are monthly checks that are going to go on for years. I also think other programs like free college, I think that is very important because the price of college is getting like, the average price is like $25,000 a year now. And offering a free college option, because the problem is that a lot of students graduate high school and they can't go to college. They can't afford it. And what happens is they don't qualify for free college through grants and stuff, and then they want them to take on this student loans, and it's too much of a burden. It's just too expensive, and you know what happens? They end up not going to college. And then what happens is they just get lost in the world, and they end up going into poverty their whole life. So I think offering the option of free college is a very good thing for the future of our country. And the cool thing about it is that I don't think there's going to be definitely don't think there's going to be an age limit on it. So you could be 20 years old, 40 years old, 60 years old, or 80 years old and go to 2 years of free community college. You can go get a 2-year degree. And I also think that later on, they're going to try to push that into a 4-year degree. So I think people can start and go and get a 2-year degree. And then maybe within the next 2 years, they're going to push that and try to make that a 4-year degree. So that's kind of similar what they did with the child tax credits. In the third stimulus check package, they just pushed it and got it approved for just 1 year. Okay. And now they're like, hey, this program worked really well. It took over 50% of our children out of childhood poverty. Now let's try to extend it for several more years. So now they're in the negotiation phase with this huge, massive package with all those things on the list. And they're like, hey, what can we get in this next package? Okay. And now they're discussing, should we extend it for 1 more year, 2 more years, 3 more years, or 4 more years? And they're kind of deciding that. And that's going to all go into this discussion here. I honestly think that they probably, because, Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema and some other moderate Democrats, honestly think they probably shouldn't extend it for 4 more years because of the whole, we're not going to do $3.5 trillion. It has to be cut down. I honestly think the prudent thing to do would be to extend it for something like 2 more years. Okay. Because what that does is they extend it for 2 more years. They save that extra money of the other 2 more years. Okay. Then they can use that extra money from the 2 more years. They could use that for a forced stimulus check for adults. Okay. You with me here? $1,400, $2,000, anything, something like that, right? They could use that money for a forced stimulus checks for adults. And then later on, or other things, right? Whatever other things they want to use on the list. Then later on, a year or 2 down the road, they can extend the child tax credits again. Okay? They'd have 2 more whole years to do that. And the cool thing about that is that Republicans are actually for the child tax credits. Okay? Remember, Republican Senator Josh Hawley, a lot of Republicans are for it. Former President Donald Trump was actually the one, and his daughter, are actually the ones that championed and pushed for and got the increase from $1,000 to $2,000. So Republicans are actually for increasing the child tax credits as well. So I don't think that they really need to push for 4 years of it right now. I think they could probably, because again, they're going to have to cut the package somewhere. I also think they could probably significantly cut the cost of climate change. But the problem is the Democrats are saying this is our one and only chance to do climate change. If we don't do it now, the Republicans will never do it. And honestly, Republicans are like so against climate change. They just don't even believe it exists and stuff like that. So I don't know where they're going to have to cut somewhere, something, somehow, some way. So yeah, I'll keep you up to date with everything. So make sure to subscribe down below. We're going to have a really big week as they're trying to finalize the negotiations between Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema, and the vote tomorrow on the debt limit ceiling. And don't forget, I'll have a video for you tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 8 p.m. West Coast time tonight. So don't miss that video, and I will see you then. So you can click on this video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video is my newest video about $1,000 monthly recurring stimulus checks that are going out in some cities right now. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.